Welcome back to Goldwynn Dinner Club. I'm Grif.
I'm Parker.
And today we're talking about bees. We're continuing our conversation about bees.
Bee talk.
No, we had bees at the same house. If you saw the Golf Story episode where we're talking about haunted houses, in that same house we had a huge bee problem all of a sudden. There were bees living in our walls. And so we called beekeepers.
Wallabies.
And yeah, and they came and they took the bees.
They're like, oh, you got a real problem. Wink, wink. And then behind closed doors, Reginald, it's $1 million. They'll never know.
That's kind of how I felt. I was a little bit like, should we charge them?
It's like, oh no,
taking our bees? These are our bees.
Yes, we'll take this thing that we literally make money off of. You know what it's like? It's like Pawn Stars, but for bees.
Yeah.
It's like, we're going to pay you nothing and then turn around and sell this at 100% markup.
The bee business is booming because bees are endangered now.
Bees.
And also,
I believe it's called, bee business is called beeswax, dude.
Oh, that's right. Well, I don't have any of that.
That's true. It is none of yours.
It's none of mine. And now there's like those giant killer hornets that got
murder hornets, of course.
Murder hornets, yeah. Wasps.
Fabulous.
Oh, one of my favorite scenes from The Office is when Dwight has Nate deal with a wasp nest, and he just lays out a bunch of weapons on the ground, and he just is like, I'm gonna let Nate choose which weapon to defeat the bees with, but it's like very important he doesn't choose the wrong weapon. Do you remember that?
I don't remember that at all.
Do you remember Nate? He was played by...
I do, yeah.
What's his name?
Mark Prost? Something
Mark
like
Prost,
that?
yeah, Mark Prost. And, yeah, and it's like everybody's watching from the window of the conference room. And Dwight is like, yeah, because Dwight's like the owner of the building now.
Mm-hmm.
And he hired Nate to get rid of a wasp's nest. And he just has like a blanket and a whole bunch of weapons with like a machete and a fire axe. And Nate's character was like really dumb. So he was just like totally going along with it.
That's right. He's outside the Home Depot at one point. He's like, you looking for Trabajo? And he's like, yeah. Where are you from? Scranton? Before that, La Philadelphia.
It's like, oh, wait, you speak English? Yes, I'm good in English.
Just way too dumb. I think one of the like a kid who's with a worker is like, we don't go with that man. People who go with that man don't show up. And he's like, yeah, I have him do a bunch of free work and then I call immigration. What's the problem? It's like, oh, Dwight, you scumbag. There we go.
Ooh, back to the ship.
Quick refill.
Full circle.
Love her gunship. What a cool design.
When I would get lost, I would come back to the gunship constantly, thinking that maybe I was just supposed to get on it and then fly to another planet.
Yeah, that was their big thing in Prime 3. They were like, and now you could use the gunship to blow stuff up. Yeah. And I'm like, let's just stay in it. And boom. I felt the same way in like the Arkham Asylum game whenever the Batwing would come in and blow something up. I'm like, cool. Now do the rest.
Yeah.
Blow this place to high hell.
Those Arkham games are great.
They're fun. It's a fun time.
Whatever happened to they announced like the Gotham Knights?
I thought I heard there was like a delay from some kind of production troubles.
Oh, okay, because they announced it like a year ago, but I was expecting to see it at E3.
Or maybe
not a whole year. Maybe it was like 6 months.
I heard there was some kind of budgetary issue. I don't know.
What about the Suicide Squad game?
Who's doing that? Do you remember? Is that also Rocksteady? I think it is.
Might be.
I don't know. I thought the trailer was. I liked the premise.
The trailer wasn't gameplay.
It was just
Gotham Knights. They had gameplay to show, so you at least knew what it was. But for the Suicide Squad game, there was no gameplay, so I don't even know what kind of game it is.
Yeah, it's just a cut scene of they're gonna fight Superman, and I'm like, that's a cool idea.
Yeah, I could
That
fight
would be
Superman.
suicide. Yeah, you're like, I could do that.
I could fight
Well,
Superman.
you kind of only need one weapon
Yeah,
to take
a
care of
gun.
the dude. My favorite thing, well, yeah, if you have a kryptonite bullet, sure.
Or
My
really good aim.
my favorite thing about like Superman in any of the like cartoons is he makes the same noise like he has to take a crap every time you confront him with kryptonite. He always goes, "Oh." It's always like, "You can't stop me, Lex. Not this time." "Oh, yes." "Oh."
Do you know that
Oh.
actor is in an episode of Friends?
Which one? Tim Daly or George Newbern?
The one from the Superman animated series.
I feel like that's Tim. Yeah. He did.
He,
I think he was in like Wings and stuff too.
Maybe he was the Yeti in Friends. Rachel dated him, and then like in the second episode he's in, it turns out he's got like way too close of a relationship with his sister.
Oh, one of those, eh?
Yeah, him and his sister like wrestle and stuff. And it's
This
like,
dude is nasty.
Yeah.
Like the sphincter that his eyeball comes out of with teeth. Get out of here. He's also like they did an upgraded version of this boss in Other M. He's like the bonus boss who's like a space squid. It was fantastic. Oh my god.
I gotta play Other M.
It gets a lot of flack because the story was like it's easy to say like fans want one thing and say like, oh well they're entitled, or oh well they're right. I think the issue is twofold. Like one, with a character like Samus, we talked about it before. She doesn't say anything. It's left to your imagination, and because people have spent countless hours with her, playing as her, embodying
Yeah.
her,
You
they
sort of
have ideas
make up in your
of what
mind
she's
who
like.
she is, yeah.
So you've got that, which is what happens with game characters.
Especially
but the second thing
from
is
her era, because she doesn't have a voice actor.
But then they actually directly contradicted some stuff in other games and in other media with Samus. And I know that there was some conversation about what is or what isn't canon, etc., etc. But the bottom line is, there were moments where they made her like, I don't know, just not the badass that she is. And I think anybody looking back who worked on that game is probably like, yeah, true. They're like, there was a story we wanted to tell about like, you know, sort of moving on from your past self and reckoning with stuff, and thematically we wanted to do this, this, and that, but maybe it didn't totally jive. That's up to them whether they feel that way or not, but I think fans have totally decided like, we kind of like the game, we don't really like what you made Samus do in it. And I think for me, the moment that I didn't care for is when she goes to confront Ridley. She seems scared. She has fought him like 5 times before that. So
Yeah.
I'm like, no, I get it. I'm like, maybe the first time she saw him, she had all those memories of like, this dude ate my parents.
Yeah.
Like we talked about earlier. But not like the 5th time. The 5th time, it should just be anger. It should just be, I thought I put you in the ground, and I'm gonna do it again.
Yeah, I see her
So-
being more stoic.
Yeah, I think it's just kind of, you know, I think a lot of people bumped
If
up
you were
against
gonna
that.
make,
But I
like-
liked the game.
If you're gonna make like a Metroid movie, you'd have to think of her character like a Terminator. You know,
Yeah.
like she can't have too much emotion. Like
You want a weird action star. That's how they used to
Yeah.
do it back in the day. Like Arnold wasn't a great actor. He was a weird guy. Wow, what an actor. Or, hear me out, he's just weird looking and weird sounding and otherworldly, and that's a star, dude. That is
Yeah.
a star. That's who
Yeah.
you want for someone like
Iconic.
Samus. Just a weirdo, preferably with a strange accent, just like really
Yeah.
just odd. You want somebody who's like one of a kind. I don't
Yeah.
want to hear none of this like, oh, famous A-lister influencer. They're so adorable and unproblematic. I'm like, sure. Or
unproblematic.
or give me just a stone cold weirdo from some country I've never heard of and make it happen that way and
Yeah.
just go for it.
Some country I've never heard of, like Germany or France.
Like
or
Germany.
Spain. I've never heard of those.
I just want to be delighted.
Yeah, I always thought if
By
you do
the
a Metroid
odd.
movie, what they should do is they should go back and do it with like stop motion and practical effects. Just don't use any CG, just straight up just practical effects and stop motion, and have it be really weird and dark and like just super super artsy.
Yeah,
Because I feel like
that's that. There is something that looks like that. It's the Japanese commercial for Super Metroid.
yeah, oh no, that's exactly what I'm thinking of.
Yeah, it looks
Same
great.
with if they do Star Fox, they should use puppets.
Oh yeah, the Thunderbird style.
Or at least like the Ninja Turtles movies from the 90s, you know, like Splinter kind of
Yes,
looked like Star Fox.
Muppet.
Do you notice in Ninja Turtles 3 you never see the bottom half of Splinter's body?
No, but now that you mention it, man, I remember seeing that. I don't think I could possibly watch that now. But
Oh yeah.
when I was a kid, I remember just being happy there was another one. I didn't care.
Yeah. Yeah, I just want to see my favorite characters come back.
That was fine.
And Casey
That was
Jones
okay.
came back for that one. But yeah, I mean, it was
Yeah.
disappointing because it didn't have Shredder. It didn't have like any of the characters in the cartoons other than like the heroes.
Which,
Um,
in retrospect, that's fine.
Well, that's been another episode of Goldwynn Dinner Club. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah, see ya.